In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all a stock that is about to go crazy tomorrow and why y'all should keep it in your radar. We're also going to be looking at the overall market because everything is still selling and we gotta get you guys prepared. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the NASDAQ futures over here. And so far, we're still bearish. I gave you guys that warning to watch for the continuation down to this red band. It didn't take too long out the gates to really start falling. If you look on this is the reason why the market started to fall anyways. If you look on the 1 hour time frame and we zoom in, we have one low right here at 21,000, another retest at 21,050. And then today we had the massive breakdown out the gates. This was the first 30 minutes. And then when we switch to the 5-minute and we clean up the chart right here, you can clearly see that there is a bearish pennant on the chart. And if you look at a lot of the stocks across the whole, a lot of the tech stocks, they all look the same way, right? And the entry for a short was around like 1 p.m, maybe 1:10 right here. And then for the exit right here, or maybe for some of you who may be a little greedy, expecting a bigger push downward, right? They may want to cover more at the bottom near like 20,000. Do I think that the market is going to continue to roll over? We broke below 21,000 and we closed below it. So we have this level right here. 1 and 2 right there. All right, we broke below it, and the 200 SMA is right at 20,300. I think that's going to get tagged. I think that the price action tomorrow is going to be spectacular. Like, watch out for the huge wick down before a massive run in the middle of the day to prepare us for next week. That's what I think. I think half of tomorrow is going to be bearish. Maybe the first 2 hours. And then the remainder of the day, we're just gonna see an all-day grinder. That's what I think. We gotta look at the SPY. Now with the SPY, this one finally took care of the gap below to the left, which I was worried about. Alright. The sooner we take care of these gaps, the more confidence we have in the uptrend that's going to happen in the future. Now, some people might be thinking that we may drop a little more. Again, I told y'all with the NASDAQ, we could drop to 20.3. This one, the 200 SMA is all the way down to 570. There's a small chance that we dip a little bit, maybe to like 578, and then we set up for a bounce. To expect a massive move down to 570 is a little bit greedy, but it would be nice though. Just think about it. It would be really, really sweet if we could drop that low, touch that line, see a massive hammer by the end of the day on the daily chart before we set up for a huge long next week. It would be really, really sweet. That's what the bulls want to see. That's what I want to see. Right now, I am bearish. I am bearish on the market. And again, I will update you guys as always when my stance change and when they change. All right, so now let's look at the VIX, and the VIX is still climbing up. The VIX is still, the fear index is still bullish. I told you guys the possibility for a candle that looks like this, very likely, as long as we trade above 1750. All right, today we closed above 21. And tomorrow, again, if the SPY drops overnight and we see an opening at like 570, the VIX is gonna be way up here, all right? And then it's gonna fade down, okay? It depends on how we open, but it's still possible, guys. Just keep the VIX on your radar. If you have calls on the VIX, if you long the VIX, it's still behaving for now. Now, the stock for this video that I want to share with y'all is going to be BABA. I told you guys BABA that I was bearish on it, that I shorted it like a day early, right between here and here, and I took that loss. Today a kind of had a bunch of sellers right here, and then more selling out the gates. And then there is this not so clean structure. It is there. It's a descending triangle. It's a bit sloppy. All right. But the 4-hour is looking kind of weak. It looks like a double top right here for BABA in the Chinese sector. All right. So watch how it opens. Watch for bearish news out the gates. Watch for gap downs. If it does gap down, there will be panic out the gates. All right. Looking at it on the daily chart, there's a whole lot of gaps at the bottom that needs to get filled. And the first one, obviously, is the one right at 134, but the next one is right at 126. So watch BABA for a retracement, because all of these individuals who bought this ascending triangle right here, they're all selling. They're all selling. All of this turbulence up here is from them. All right, so I expect a pullback on the Chinese stock. Now, again, I said this stock is about to go crazy, but there is another one. There is another one that I want to share with y'all. That one is going to be Netflix. I've been sharing with y'all Netflix in the beginning of the week. Also, I talked about it, about this bearish trend. It took care of 955. That was the first target I gave you guys. Now, the next target that I'm going to give you is the gap fill at the bottom. It is a bit crazy to say that it's going to drop to like 867. Sounds crazy, all right? But if it happens, just don't be surprised. The bears are in control. There's a gap at the bottom, and right now, I'm looking at all of these indices, and they're looking kind of red. They're already negative 0.20. So tomorrow morning, we could be down a whole percentage, right? And if that happens, that's going to fall also. Netflix is going to fall. And it would be really nice if that gap gets filled before we see a bottoming happen on Netflix and a bounce for new highs during March. All right. Now, let's do an update and answer some of you guys' questions. First and foremost, congrats to anybody who took put options on TSM. That was the other stock that I gave you guys in yesterday's video. I told you I'll set an alert right at 190, and then when it rings, then the stock will be ready to commit to the downside. All right, so to those of you who got puts on here and made some money on it down to 185, congratulations. Drop the comment section, drop some comments below if you took this trade. It gave two opportunities, the first one in the morning, and then obviously the second one later during the day when the SPY and QQQ broke down at 1 p.m. I ended up taking a trade on Tesla puts because Tesla was cooking. Again, I told y'all 110, 109. That is when this thing broke down with everything else. And I took puts on there for the move down. I thought the price target was going to be much, much lower, like at 270. I made money on Tesla, but not as much as I would have made if I took literally anything else. So I was kind of mad about Tesla. It may be kind to anybody who held, especially for tomorrow. But we'll see. I ended up getting rid of Tesla at like 2 p.m. No, at 1:51 when it was playing games and when it was trying to resist the fall. Let me see, right? This is Tesla. Yeah. So I ended up getting rid of it like right here because I compared it with the SPY and it just wasn't falling. And this price action was just terrible. All right. And it didn't really fall as low as I wanted it to go. So maybe tomorrow we might see this thing actually tank down to 270. Maybe. All right. So that's my thoughts on Tesla. Now, let's discuss Apple. Because we touched on Apple yesterday. We talked about it. And Apple looks like this. Why is Apple falling? I told y'all before the line of support is at 234. And right now, it's bearish. And it broke down at 130. This one broke down a little bit late. But it provided an opportunity for a short between here and here. And we could see a continuation down tomorrow. If everything opens lower, we could see this thing drop down and open here before we see a bounce at 234. But so far, it's looking good. I like the way it's moving, like it's moving in a massive range. Lots of opportunities for bulls and bears to make some money on Apple. All right, so just be ready for Apple at 234. Watch how it behaves. And don't get too greedy right here, especially if you are bearish on Apple. The last stock that we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about why NVDA collapsed anyways. Yes, we were bearish on the overall market, but this thing, I thought the drop would happen through earnings, but instead it gave everybody it gave an IV crush. Like the bulls and the bears lost; those contracts got killed. They dropped by like 90% off the gates before increasing value throughout the remainder of the day. Again, same opportunity right here as TSM and as SPY and as QQQ right there for the breakdown for the day trade downwards. So is this done yet? I would like to see NVIDIA at 114 once again, or 112. Somewhere over here would be really nice for a dip buy and a rebound. That's my very honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul Nguma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks for Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you on Sunday night.